After the written test and interview results were announced, with me ranking first in both, I thought getting admitted to University A's laboratory was practically guaranteed. But with just one sentence, Susan gave my spot to a poor student who ranked dead last. Her reason was that financial aid should be carried through to the end. She wanted to help him achieve his dream. And she said having her was enough for me. She wanted to play the savior, but used me as the sacrifice. Since that's the case, I don't want her anymore. After all, love is optional, but a future is not. Chapter 1. When the admission results came out, I stood on the street, feeling dazed. Although nothing in the world is ever absolutely certain, this result was still unexpected. In past years, a university's lab had a 100% acceptance rate for a university's own PhD students. But while the others all got in, I, who ranked first, was the only one rejected. I opened WeChat Moments and saw that someone had already begun celebrating. The one at the bottom of the list has realized his dream. How is that not a kind of success? The attached picture was a screenshot of the acceptance result from a university's lab. Vincent, whose evaluation scores ranked at the very bottom among all candidates. Susan had given his post a like. Her comment, "Keep going." A senior who participated in the recruitment called to check on me. "Romeo, did you offend someone recently?" "No, senior. Why? What happened?" He sounded truly confused. The reason given for accepting the student who took your spot was that his undergraduate background aligned better with the lab's future research direction. But we all know that this explanation is just. He paused. I found out that Susan had a word with them. Did you offend her somehow? Hearing that, the chill in my heart deepened completely. Not many people knew that Susan and I were together, because her father was the largest shareholder of a university's lab. She said it was to avoid suspicion, so no one would gossip about me getting in because of her, and wanted to keep our relationship private. Only people in our closer circle knew. I had once appreciated her thoughtfulness, but the result now made people think I was rejected because I offended her. What an ironic joke. After thanking the senior and ending the call, I received a message from her. "Did the results come out?" I replied. "You already knew, didn't you?" Her call came almost immediately. I hung up. After several attempts, I blocked all her contact methods. I could live without love, but I could not let my future be ruined. My good brother Santiago tried to cheer me up and asked me out for a meal. Unexpectedly, fate had other plans. We ran right into them. To our handsome Vincent for successfully getting into the lab of his dreams and achieving his goals. Cheers. Susan stood beside Vincent, smiling brightly at him. The two of them were standing very close. What terrible luck. Since we ran into her, I'm at least going to curse her out. She went way too far. Santiago stormed forward, but I stopped him. Forget it. Let's switch to another place. Just as we turned around, a shout came from behind. "Romeo, stop right there." Vincent practically bounded over to me in a few big steps. "Why did you block Susan? What did she ever do to you?" Santiago let out a disbelieving laugh. "You're really asking? She took Romeo's spot in the lab and handed it to you with one sentence. If he doesn't block you too, should he keep you around for the New Year celebration?" Vincent looked humiliated. "What do you mean took? Every step I took followed the proper recruitment process. Just because you got rejected, you can't smear me." Susan walked over at that moment. She looked at me with a slight frown. "Vincent is right, Romeo. You need to accept that there's always someone better than you, and you must face failure bravely. It's okay if you didn't get accepted this year. You can apply again next year, but you cannot slander others." She actually turned the blame back onto me. I stepped closer, staring into her eyes, enunciating each word. "Susan, do you dare say you had no part in this? No hidden agenda? Do you dare?" My voice rose on the last few words. Chapter 2. Everyone present was sharp. They all knew Vincent's scores. But no matter what, siding with me brought them no benefit. So they simply stayed silent and watched the drama unfold. A flicker of guilt flashed through Susan's eyes. She reached out to pull me. "All right, Romy, whatever it is, let's talk when we get home. I'll explain it to you." I shook her hand off forcefully and stepped closer. "So you don't even dare admit it?" The atmosphere went quiet. Seeing that no one was speaking up for him, Vincent panicked instantly. He wrapped his arm around Susan's shoulder and snapped at me. "That's enough. If you have a problem, take it out on me. Why are you cornering her like this?" My gaze dropped to where they were touching, and I couldn't help but let out a mocking laugh. "You two really are a perfect match." As I walked out the door, I could still hear Vincent muttering under his breath. Forget it, just let him have it. He's your boyfriend. No matter what the real results are, that spot should have been his anyway. I'm not taking this blame." That night, when I returned home and began packing my luggage, Susan came back. "What are you doing?" I didn't stop moving, nor did I look at her. "You found someone new." "Naturally. I should step aside and bless you too." "What are you talking about? I came home early just to explain everything to you." She grabbed my arm, and I couldn't shake her off. "Fine, explain. I want to hear what kind of ridiculous reason you've come up with." Susan sighed. You know that Vincent's been sponsored by my family since high school. His dream has always been to enter a university's lab. He's worked so many years for it, and if he couldn't get in the end, it would be a huge regret. Since we've been supporting him, we should see it through and help him fulfill his dream. It's only right to finish what we started. I froze for a moment, then processed her explanation, and laughed. So my dream doesn't matter. My hard work is supposed to become a stepping stone for him. Susan pulled my hand into hers, stroking my palm gently, acting as if she were being patient and considerate. You're different, Romy. You have me. He has nothing. If you really want it, next year when there's a spot, I'll let you go straight in. The disgust made me want to gag on the spot, yet I laughed anyway, out of sheer disbelief. So tell me, who is actually your boyfriend? Why should I wait a whole year for something I earned this year? Why isn't he the one waiting a year to pursue his dream? In what universe is having you supposed to be some sort of advantage? Having you is exactly how I lost the spot that rightfully belonged to me. My rapid, icy questioning made Susan panic for a second, but only for a second, soon replaced by anger. Romeo, you don't have to exaggerate. The decision is already made. Even if you don't accept it, it won't change anything. Other than this, whatever job you want, I can arrange it for you. I tilted my head back and took a long breath, then closed my suitcase. No need. Use your influence on him instead. He needs it more, doesn't he? Seeing me pack, Susan grew even angrier. Are you done yet? I told you, there's nothing between him and me. You're my boyfriend. With my back to her, I said coldly. Not anymore, Susan. This ends here. Your temper is still so strange. What girl could ever put up with you? I didn't look back. My advisor had told me earlier that he wasn't planning to choose a university for this round of the industry-academia collaboration project. I know you've been wronged. I sent your academic materials to C University's lab. They've already replied. They can directly accept you without going through their usual process. But you'll need to provide a few more sets of updated experimental data. Get them ready. Chapter 3. This was truly an unexpected blessing. For a long period afterward, I immersed myself in the university lab, working on data. I shut out all outside noise. Not until I thoroughly understood all the data, submitted the report to my advisor, and received his approval did I finally feel relieved. Now, all that remained was to wait for the final notice from C University's lab. I turned on my phone and ignored several missed calls from unfamiliar numbers. While scrolling through a certain social platform, I noticed a post whose cover looked familiar. Zooming in, I saw it was the autograph of a basketball star I liked very much. Even the ball in the photo was a limited edition. I hadn't been able to buy one, and I'd once asked Susan to help me find a channel. She rejected me outright, saying I shouldn't waste my mind on meaningless things like that. She said that since my family background couldn't match hers, I needed to work harder to gain her parents' approval. But now, Vincent had gotten it effortlessly. I don't even like playing basketball that much. I barely know this star. I just mentioned it casually, and she went to all that trouble to get it for me. The difference between love and the absence of love was so stark, ridiculous that I realized it only now, but fortunately, not too late. Thinking back, there had long been signs. Last year on Susan's birthday, I accompanied my advisor on a research trip and couldn't make it in time. When the schedule ended early and I rushed to the venue, the party was already in full swing. Someone asked, Susan, princess, I'm really curious, how did you end up with Romeo? He has a weird temper, he's obsessed with research, and honestly seems pretty boring. What's so strange about it? Something you haven't tried always looks good from afar. Once you get tired of it, it's whatever. He puts on that aloof face every day. If I were a girl, I wouldn't like him either. That was Vincent's voice. Don't say that. I still like Romeo. Otherwise I wouldn't have been with him for this long. Susan's tone was as careless as always. Though she said she liked me, she didn't rebuke anyone who belittled me. What exactly do you like about him? You like him pretending? Vincent pressed the question. He's very hardworking and ambitious. He's the type my parents like, and that cold, top student vibe suits me. I even like his strange temper. Sometimes teasing him is kind of fun. But you just like being mistreated. You never notice the people who treat you well. Always chasing after someone who gives you the cold shoulder. Susan laughed. I know you treat me well. Don't I treat you well too? Vincent pinched her cheek. Everyone started teasing them about it. Susan added, and more importantly, I want to see if he can really rely on himself for everything instead of using me as a stepping stone. It's been 3 years, he really has worked hard. What's so hard about acting for 3 years? Just wait and see if he'll come begging you for help at graduation. She seemed to accept Vincent's words, only responding with a vague Back then, I thought it was just that we still needed to adjust to each other. After all, we came from very different environments, and she tolerated me in many ways. People who are used to relying on themselves tend to reflect inward by default. And since we spent a whole month traveling together that summer, and she didn't show any spoiled princess attitude, being thoughtful in everything, I convinced myself that no one is perfect. If I enjoyed her good side, I should also accept her flaws. Besides, I had a stubborn desire to prove to her that the 3 years I'd been with her were not an act. That day, I talked myself into feeling better. She never knew I had returned early. Looking back now, I was simply inexperienced and blind to people's true colors. Susan only liked the parts of me that benefited her, not me as a person. So whenever there was a conflict between Vincent and me, she would never choose me first. Such love wasn't worth wanting. Chapter 4. The next day, Susan found my new place. She was carrying a thermal food container. You really can just ignore me completely. It's been a few days. Your anger should have cooled by now. Right. I didn't want to communicate with her. Here, take this. I made this soup myself. I shouldn't have spoken to you with that tone the other day. As for what you plan to do next, I'll ask my dad to arrange something for you. I glanced at it. The moment I smelled it, I felt nauseous. She'd forgotten again. I couldn't eat lamb. My phone vibrated. When I picked it up and saw the screen, my hand trembled. It was the offer from C University's lab. I succeeded. Susan saw my barely concealed excitement and asked, puzzled, "You found a job this quickly? Is it reliable? Let me take a look." She reached for my phone, but I dodged instantly. No need. She let out a helpless laugh. "Seriously, I'm your girlfriend." I composed myself and said coldly, "Miss Susan, did you lose your memory? We already broke up, and you don't need to worry anymore about whether I'm trying to climb upward by using your family's resources. Considering you could destroy something I earned through my own work with just one sentence, I'd say I've suffered a major loss." Susan's face flushed instantly. "You still haven't gotten over that. I told you I'd make it up to you. Can't you have a little empathy for Vincent? Whether I get over it or not doesn't matter. We have nothing to do with each other now. Don't come bother me again." I brushed past her and walked away. Behind me came the sound of something being thrown to the ground hard. Suddenly remembering something, I turned back and said to her, "Oh, right, about that autograph you worked so hard to get him. Looks like he doesn't even like it. Please, you people with money and connections, stop wasting resources. Leave some for us actual fans." Susan rushed forward, flustered. "Romy, let me explain. I thought since so much time had passed and you never mentioned it again, maybe you didn't like it anymore. Vincent said he liked it, and he's had so many regrets since he was a kid. I cut her off with a sharp, uncontrollable laugh. "Susan, you still won't admit it. To you, he will always come before me." She lowered her eyes, speechless. That night, just as I finished preparing the onboarding documents and was about to sleep, my phone kept ringing nonstop. "Romeo, Susan's drunk. She keeps yelling for you to pick her up. We're at Blue Charm. Come quickly." There was noise in the background, and I could hear Susan shouting drunkenly, "I'm not going back. Let him come." I raised my voice. "Did she not tell you guys? I broke up with her, and it's not like she lacks people lining up to take care of her. Vincent got such a huge benefit from her. Shouldn't you all give him the chance to repay her properly?" The noise on the other end suddenly stopped. "What nonsense are you spouting? Say that again and I'll sue you for slander." Vincent's panicked anger came through clearly. That line about him desperately trying to take care of her must have hit a sore spot. Tonight, every time he tried to get close to Susan, she pushed him away. The people who were teasing earlier had started giving him strange looks, as if he were some homewrecker trying to squeeze in. But Romeo had said they broke up. Yet at that exact moment, Susan was shouting again, "We didn't break up." I didn't agree. "Romy, come back." They must have turned on the speaker. Voices were overlapping chaotically. "Come on, the princess is already begging you. Enough is enough. Being dramatic doesn't look good." "He's right, Romeo. You didn't even get accepted this time. Don't you need Princess Susan to help you find a job? What good is breaking up going to do you?" I raised my voice again. "Susan, I broke up with you. If you keep bothering me, it's harassment. And the rest of you, don't contact me for any reason." I hung up. My irritation disappeared instantly. Then I booked a high-speed train ticket to C-City for a week later. Chapter 5. A classmate I got along with fairly well was hosting a birthday party and invited me. Considering I'd be leaving for Cloud City in a couple of days and would naturally see everyone less often in the future, and since she wasn't close to Susan and probably wouldn't invite her, I accepted. But the moment I arrived at the venue that evening, I saw the two of them surrounded by a group of people. I immediately knew what was going on. I turned around to leave, but the birthday girl grabbed me. "Top student, what did I do to offend you? You just got here and you're already trying to leave." Looking at her expression, maybe I had misunderstood her. She really didn't know anything about what happened between Susan and me. I chose a corner seat and sat down, listening to the people nearby whispering. "The guy next to Princess Susan, is that her boyfriend?" "Probably. I see them together all the time, but they've never really made it official." "Well, bringing him to a crowded event like this basically makes it official." I took sips of my drink, bored, and planned to greet the birthday girl and leave early. Susan walked over with a bright smile. "Romy, you look really handsome today. I lowered my eyes and didn't respond. She sat down beside me. Today, I'm going to give you a surprise. From not far away, Vincent's stare, sharp and venomous, was fixed on me. Not interested. I still didn't look at her directly. Your temper really never changes. Only I can tolerate you like this. The birthday girl stepped on stage with a microphone. Thank you all so much for coming to my birthday party. Among us tonight is a couple who have known and loved each other for years. They want to take this chance to publicly share their sweet relationship with everyone. When I saw Susan walk up and take the microphone, the last bit of wishful thinking in my heart disappeared. She looked at me with a radiant smile. My boyfriend is Romeo, the top student of our department. We've been together for 4 years. 2 male classmates grabbed me and pulled me toward the crowd. Next, I want to propose to Mr. Romeo. Susan took out a ring box and walked toward me. Romy, will you marry me? The birthday girl took the lead in cheering. Say yes, say yes. I turned my head to look at Susan. There wasn't the slightest trace of guilt in her eyes, not a hint of remorse for deceiving me. A deep sadness washed over me. When it came to misreading people, I really had a lot to reflect on. Seeing me unresponsive, Susan directly grabbed my hand. Oh come on, why are you being shy? I'm a girl and I'm already being so proactive. I swung my arm, and the ring flew to the floor. The cheers froze instantly. We already broke up. How many times do I have to say it? You gave my spot in the lab to him, gave the autograph of my favorite athlete to him, and you take him everywhere, making everyone think you two are the real couple. If you love him that much, then just be together already. Why are you still clinging to me? Everyone's expression shifted, especially Susan's and Vincent's. Whispers began spreading through the room. So that Vincent guy isn't actually her boyfriend. Yet he got into a university's lab. No wonder the real boyfriend's pissed. I didn't even know this guy was her boyfriend until today. Then what does that make Vincent? The side piece. Susan's face went ice cold as she shouted, "Enough." Chapter 6. The venue fell silent again. The birthday girl frowned and tried to persuade me kindly. Romeo, why are you like this? I was shocked when she told me she wanted to use my party to propose to you. She's a girl, and with her family background and her character, why are you hung up on those trivial things? Once you two get married, any job you want will be settled with just one word from her. I turned my gaze toward her, my tone cold. You don't consider me a friend either. I don't believe you didn't know anything. What benefit did she promise you? Her expression panicked, her cheeks flushing. I don't know what you're talking about. If I didn't see you as a friend, why would I want you to have a good future? Stop acting out. With this horrible temper of yours, people are going to be scared away. Susan clearly agreed with her, staring at me intensely, waiting for me to back down, waiting for me to be grateful for her proposal. Our eyes met, and memories flashed before me like a spinning lantern. Forget it. I had nothing more to say. I turned to leave, but Vincent suddenly lunged toward me. What are you even being arrogant about? Susan only helped me once, yet you keep clinging to it. Now everyone thinks I'm the homewrecker. If you don't clear my name, don't even think about leaving. His grip was strong. I'd seen it before, and he knew a bit of traditional medicine. This time, he aimed at a pressure point near my chest. Only then did I realize his real intention was to cripple me. In such a chaotic situation, there would be no concrete evidence afterward. Such a vicious and idiotic plan. I grabbed his wrist quickly and punched him with all my strength. He stumbled backward and fell smoothly to the floor, wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth with his thumb. He glared at me and cursed. Romeo, you're a violent maniac. Susan rushed over to help him up, then turned to yell at me. I was the one who cost you your spot, not Vincent. If you're angry, take it out on me. Why did you come after him? And now you've hurt him. I froze for a moment, then laughed. I hit him because he tried to attack me. It was self-defense. Don't drag everything back to yourself. We have nothing to do with each other anymore. Miss Susan, do you really like fantasizing about 2 men fighting over you? Vincent likes using toxic competition to climb upward, but I'm not interested. Susan stood there stunned, as if she couldn't process what I'd said. The party ended awkwardly. After that day, I found out the birthday girl had indeed accepted a benefit from Susan. Susan had given her family's company a cooperation project from her own family's business. But after the fiasco at the party, that benefit naturally fell through. She was scolded harshly by her father and then blamed everything on me, sending angry messages. Vincent was right, you're acting high and mighty. If you wanted to reject her, couldn't you have done it afterward? Why did you have to ruin my birthday party like that? I finally managed to accomplish something impressive in front of my dad, and you destroyed it. Romeo, someone like you deserves to have no friends. After blocking her, I couldn't help but think, this whole circle was rotten to the core. Chapter 7. Meanwhile, because I brought up Vincent's backdoor admission publicly, the matter quickly became a hot topic. Everyone already knew the truth, of course, but the procedures were indeed flawless on the surface. Lab admissions aren't based solely on grades, they're evaluated holistically, which means there's plenty of room to manipulate. Potential. compatibility, all kinds of subjective factors, exaggerating research experience, exploiting loopholes in the rules to show favoritism. As angry as my advisor was, he couldn't demand justice for me publicly, but by canceling the original collaboration project with a university's lab, he made his stance clear. It was like a loud slap across Susan and Vincent's faces. Working with our own university's lab is just a tradition, not a requirement. See, university's lab has been developing well in recent years. Moving there is also breaking institutional boundaries in a good way. I've been lucky to have such a good advisor these past years. He's a major reason I've achieved what I have today. Just as I was envisioning my future career, Susan resurfaced like a ghost that refused to leave. Romy, I've talked to my dad. He'll give you an executive position in the company. You should be satisfied now. Right. Let the past stay in the past. And stop making things difficult for Vincent. After that complete fallout the other day, I thought she'd stop pestering me. You still think the reason I can't get over it is that I didn't get your help? I hadn't expected that after 4 years. Her understanding of me was still so shallow. That's not what I meant. I just said I would compensate you. I don't need it. I'll earn my own future. If you stop destroying my opportunities, I'll already be grateful. Okay. My tone was hard and laced with sarcasm. She ran out of patience as well. Fine. Fine. You're so capable. So high and mighty. Just don't come begging me later. This time, surely, we were done for good. But on the day I officially joined C University's lab, Susan showed up again. Romy, why didn't you tell me you got accepted by C University? The moment I saw her, my instinctive response was mockery. Even though you didn't have the power to reach into C University and ruin my future again, there's no need to tell unrelated people something this important. A hint of sincerity entered Susan's eyes. Romy, now I know you truly are exceptional. You can carve out a bright future all on your own. I was narrow-minded before. Will you forgive me? I've really missed you these past days. I'm starting to think you bring misfortune to me. Ever since I left you, everything's gone smoothly. So for safety's sake, we shouldn't have any further contact. She panicked, stepping closer and grabbing my hand. After all these years we've been together, how can you just throw everything away? Hearing that stirred something in me. After all, that was a huge amount of sunk cost. Those years, I really had put in emotion. You mentioned all these years. Tell me then, how much of that time were you testing me, examining me? What now? Are you trying to tell me that I've finally passed your exam? Chapter 8. She admitted it openly. I admit I tested you before. After all, considering your background, but later, I fully believed in you. I truly love you, Romy. Let's get married. My parents are very satisfied with you. Right now is the perfect time. I let out a mocking laugh. And what about your Vincent? Her voice became urgent. There's nothing between us. Helping him get into the lab was just fulfilling his dream. From now on, I won't have anything to do with him. Romy, believe me. She always spoke sweet, coaxing words without the slightest regard for logic. None of her past actions could hold up under any explanation either. I shook my head. I don't believe you. After that day, every 2 or 3 days Susan would show up in C City to block me. At the same time, I heard from a senior about what happened with Vincent. When a person's virtue doesn't match the position they gain, misfortune inevitably follows. This was perfectly reflected in him. Division of work in the lab was strict and responsibilities required timely responses. But Vincent couldn't keep up at all. He slacked off constantly, often leaving the lab and delaying progress repeatedly. Everyone already resented this half-baked backdoor entrant. Yet Susan always protected him, so no one dared to speak out. Instead of feeling guilty, Vincent was smug. He even posted online bragging that his princess would always clean up his messes. Later, a major project was completely scrapped before launch because he had a major mistake. The loss was enormous. Even Susan couldn't save him this time. The incident was so severe that it alarmed her father. Other members of the lab seized the chance to file a joint complaint, accusing Vincent of neglecting his duties. They had everything: surveillance footage, attendance logs, data reports, ironclad evidence. People began questioning a university's lab recruitment standards and dug out Vincent's evaluation scores. My advisor also stepped forward, stating that his prized student had been treated unfairly during the recruitment, which was the core reason he moved the original collaboration project to another lab. He further questioned a university's recruitment procedures and called for a full investigation. Public outrage surged. In the end, Vincent was dismissed from the lab for incompetence. Even Susan's act of using her position as the shareholder's daughter to influence the admissions was exposed. Online discussions were explosive, so it was capital pulling strings. No wonder. I feel bad for the student who got pushed out. Heard he ranked first in everything. One phone call can destroy someone's future. What did he ever do to deserve that? The discussion spread to Susan's father's company. She was harshly scolded and removed from her position. After all, she wasn't an only child. She was easily replaceable. For someone like Susan, a pampered golden girl, the blow was devastating, and she took out all her anger on Vincent. Chapter 9. You made such a stupid mistake, and dragged me down with you, idiot. You're not even worth a single finger of Romy's. At first, Vincent endured the scolding, planning to act pitiful as usual to soften her heart. But when he heard Susan say he couldn't compare to Romeo, he snapped. Yes, I can't compare to him, but you clearly like me more, otherwise why were you always so good to me? He's already broken up with you, and you still can't forget him. You never cared that much about him before. Susan froze. Even Vincent was saying she never treated Romeo properly. It showed just how excessive she had been. She tested and examined her own boyfriend endlessly, yet gave someone else everything he wanted. She really regretted it now. Romeo was outstanding, he never needed her. And truly, he no longer wanted her. After being dismissed, Vincent realized Susan was no longer someone he could cling to. So he tried to attach himself to others. But everyone in the circle already knew his true colors and avoided him like the plague. Vincent became a public joke in Lincoln. His reputation completely ruined. Someone even found him posting shirtless photos under wealthy socialites' posts online. Only then did Susan truly realize how blind she had been. For someone so selfish and opportunistic, she had thrown away her Romeo. When I saw the circulating videos online, I couldn't help but feel that karma never misses. Life at C University's lab was fulfilling but exhausting. After settling in, I realized it was in no way inferior to a university. Recruitment didn't depend on which school you graduated from. Even students of their own university had no special privileges. Everything was based on one's actual ability. Their research funding also increased year by year. Many professors, seeing the environment my advisor and I had here, shifted their collaboration projects to this lab as well. A university's lab lost many major projects. As its largest shareholder, Susan's father blamed her even more. He decided to send her to a subsidiary in Africa to atone for her mistakes, and she wouldn't be allowed to return unless she produced results. Before leaving the country, Susan came to find me again. In just 1 month, she had grown noticeably thinner, her whole person looking defeated. The eyes that once deeply attracted me, once bright like stars over the ocean, had grown dim. Romy, I'm leaving. I may not see you again for a long time. As she said this, tears spilled down her face. A woman sobbing and shaking before me, remaining cold would seem heartless. I took out a tissue and handed it to her. She grabbed my wrist. Romy, you still care about me, don't you? Wait for me. When I achieve something over there, I'll come back. Then we can get married. Okay. Had she grown in age but not in intelligence? I pulled my hand back forcefully and said coldly, your family is wealthy and powerful. I'm just an ordinary person, not someone who can climb that high. I know you're angry at me. It was my fault before. I didn't expect Vincent to be that kind of person. Chapter 10. I let out a soft laugh. Your way of thinking is really strange. What Vincent is like has nothing to do with me. Your distrust toward me, your prejudice, your unconditional kindness toward him, stringing both sides along, those were your problems. Now you've simply realized that I truly never needed to rely on you. And Vincent has revealed his true nature. So you're desperately trying to win me back. But think carefully, did you ever really love me? Susan couldn't say another word. 3 years later, I had already achieved many of the dreams I'd had when I was younger. Those things I once couldn't get over were nothing more than small wrinkles in the long scroll of life. They still existed, but no one cared about them anymore. At a gathering I attended, many people praised me, saying I'd become the most successful among them. No one remembered how they once criticized me, acting like without Susan I had no future. Even the girl who once deceived me acted as if she had never sent those messages. She greeted me with a bright, chirpy smile. Top student. Everyone said back then that you were full of potential. Seems like they were right. I glanced at her and replied politely, but coldly, thank you for the compliment. Her smile turned awkward, and she didn't approach me again. The former center of attention, though absent, was still a topic no one could avoid. Did you hear? Susan is suffering terribly in Africa. That place is practically unlivable. Her dad is really ruthless. Once he threw her away, he really refused to let her come back. That's how wealthy families are. When everything's fine, you're their precious little treasure. But once trouble comes, you're nothing but a discarded pawn. Looks glamorous from the outside, but it's worse than our lives. I heard Vincent went back to his hometown and started live streaming. But honestly, it's painful to watch. Completely cringe. Seriously, with so many types of streams out there, he had to choose that kind. It's fast money. Wasn't he living off his ex's support before? When did he ever work hard on his own? I listened to the same repetitive gossip swirling around. It was boring. Before the gathering even ended, I got up and left. Life shouldn't be wasted on meaningless socializing. There were still endless possibilities waiting for me to explore.